Welcome to the Celebrating Women podcast. Mandee and Ashley Fisher dig into conversation about women, their issues, their thoughts, their lives, and celebrate their gifts, their talents, their courage. It's the Celebrating Women podcast. Presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. Hey, it's Mandee Montana, and you know I love to relax at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. I've shared the secret of where I go and some of my favorite treatments, and now I want to spotlight something else. The incredible staff at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler. Now, over the years, I've been to many therapists. They are all amazing. This month, I want to tell you about Jordan. If you are looking for a blissful escape, she's a great fit. She's quiet, strong, and make sure you feel relaxed and comfortable through the entire session at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. She's thoughtful and easygoing and will have you feeling relaxed and might also have you drifting off to sleep. This is one of the things I personally love about her as a therapist. You can just chill and let your mind wander and be at ease while your body is relaxing and healing under her expert hands. Ready to relax and escape the chatter in your mind with Jordan? I knew you would be. Stop in and visit Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa located in the Cumberland Shopping Center, Tyler, or book online at handandstonetyler.com.
Welcome back to the Celebrating Women's podcast. I am Ashley Fisher.
I'm Mandee and we have a special guest.
Hi.
This is Lindsay Steele.
Lindsay Steele. I am so excited because Lindsay and I could probably, well, actually, this room full of women could just talk for days and days and days about all of the things that we love to do and have in common. But I have been an admirer of your work for years and feel like I know you in some capacity. But today's the first day I've actually gotten to meet you face to face. I know. Isn't that fun?
Because I remember whenever y'all first became friends, I remember like seeing y'all's pictures together. And I was like, how do I not know her?
I know. And it's funny after all this time how we've, we've just never run into each other. But I know you're Longview and Tyler, and there you go. But I'm just so excited to have you here today.
I'm excited because I'm like, these are two of my absolute favorite portrait photographers in the world in the same room together. And like my favorite portraits of me were made by both of you.
It's so fun.
So it is fun. And you do different work. Like it's so complimentary of each other. Like Ashley, I don't know how to describe your work as well as I know what to say about Lindsay's, but like yours is like in my mind more pastel and like feminine and pretty and soft and family. And like Lindsay's is like bold and colorful and dynamic and big. And like I love both.
Yeah, and you need both in the world. You know, like I love, like, it's like candy for the eyes. Anytime like you post a new session, I'm like, okay, nobody take offense. But sometimes when a photographer posts like a lot, it's like you see the kind of snapshot and it's like, cool, great job, good work. With Lindsay, I have to go through and I have to click because I'm like, ooh, so
Ashley.
I love it.
I've been horrible about posting on social media lately because I get so busy. You know how it is. We get so busy and we're like, okay, got that one done. Got that done. Oh, I need to post that. So I'll post something from like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, dang, I used to be so good about doing a session and then getting so excited I would edit sneak peeks and post the next day. I cannot tell you the last time I've done that.
I know. Well, if you go to my photography Instagram, you would think I was out of business because I just don't. Facebook is usually where I do the most of it, but here lately it's been the same thing. Like, hey, that was from a few weeks ago, but see, I didn't forget about you. I just forgot to post.
It's hard. It's hard to keep up. Like people probably think I don't do weddings, but I do like one a month, maybe two a month, but like I'd forget to post them, which sounds horrible, but it's just because it's just so much work.
Oh, it's
even
a lot.
Uploading to Facebook takes forever, and then trying to get them in order. I'm like, that's a whole 3-hour process, and it's just too much, much to even just for like a sneak peek.
Yeah, and then but then there's that. Do I trust everybody to curate the right combination of photos when they put it up on Facebook? Because y'all, we love you and everything, but y'all don't know how to curate your photos to post them.
No, that is fair. And then my favorite portraits are sometimes not someone else's favorite portraits. You talked about in a podcast before about how you you'll have like photos that are like of like a different facial expression, I do the same thing. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I like this one more, but you're probably gonna like this little like scrunched nose or like laugh.
Because it means something to you,
Yeah.
and that I'm not going to assume that I know best because
Yeah.
you know your person better than I do. But
That's true.
I do like this other photo better.
This is the one I'm gonna post. But Mom, you're probably gonna post these other two.
Yes, yeah,
So we could do this
All day.
it's true. Sorry.
No,
Just day photographer is talking.
it's not a negative at all. There's something that I really want Lindsay to talk about, and because I think Ashley, you want to be in on this conversation, and I want to listen to it. And it's how you were both teachers first.
You were?
Uh-huh.
You didn't know?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, snap.
I know.
Ooh, okay.
So Lindsay, will you talk about your journey into photography? Because you were
my journey.
You were a teacher. Okay, so you and I go way back.
Way back.
Way back to high school.
Yes.
Probably before, but that's when I really got to know you was high school because you were a freshman and I was
my
a
clarinet
senior.
section leader.
Yes.
Oh,
sweetest
how cute
angel.
are y'all?
Mandee is the sweetest. She was the one that like, if anyone was picking on us, she was like the little like mom.
Oh, I could totally see
Not
that.
that really ever happened much. I'm talking about people picking on us, but like she like had our back. She always took care of us. And I was just a sweet little thing. I would just be like, Mandee. Horrible at clarinet.
It's so funny that that's what you remember about me because what I remember about band is me being mean to people.
Yeah, but not to me. You were so nice to us. I was like, she's a protector for sure.
She's got my back.
I really had high hopes that we would go to regionals and marching competition because
that's
we
fair.
had done it when I was a sophomore and we had a different band director who was wonderful, wonderful human, but had just a different way of teaching and leading. And so we weren't headed in a direction that I thought was going to get us back to regionals. So I just took control of the situation and I formed my own freshman practices because he didn't do it. And so I called freshman practice as the president of the band. And they,
Of course you did.
They
No,
showed
I
up.
remember this. I forgot about these parts.
You didn't remember that?
No, I do remember it now. I mean, it was horrible at clarinet, but I do remember. I was like, but
y'all
if I don't
came.
if I don't
They
play
showed
loud
up.
enough. Gosh, oh my gosh, you just unlocked a whole. I forgot about that.
Just saw Lindsay's head physically explode.
I know, and we just wanted to please the seniors. Wow, that's so
Yeah.
funny. I forgot about
y'all
that.
did get better, though.
So were you a freshman and she was a senior? Yeah. Okay. Aw.
So Lindsay, we grew up together.
Yes.
We played clarinet together in high school. And then one day I see this gorgeous portrait at Fresh. I went to like a bridal fair because one of my friends was getting married. And I see this gorgeous portrait of this woman that's a bride. And it's got the name Lindsay Steele on it. And I was like, wait a minute.
I don't know this story.
You don't know that? I thought I told you this story. Yeah. I'm at Fresh. I'm at this bridal fair. And I don't know who was there. I don't know if it was like maybe one of the bridal shops and you had taken a
Yeah.
picture of one of their dresses and they were using it, but your name was on this portrait. And I was like, is that the same Lindsay Steele that I went to high school with? Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. And then I found you on
gosh.
Facebook and you were doing pictures. And then I don't remember exactly how you and I connected. Was it because we were both going to Vegas or what?
I remember sitting on my bed talking to you about Vegas. Like I was
Yeah.
with Lauren. I remember being like, Mandee, I'm gonna be in Vegas.
we were at
Take pictures.
We were at the same hotel.
Oh,
At the
that's
same
crazy.
time. It
How
was.
wild.
But I guess that was the rekindling of our
Yeah.
friendship because
2015?
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that
I guess
summer.
I hadn't really seen you before then. Yeah.
You were still in Longview. I was over here in
So
Tyler,
weird to
living
think about.
life, doing stuff. I mean, Facebook, thank you.
Facebook, yes. Could you imagine getting Facebook now and having all those years of not like knowing these people like on
No.
social media and then having to be like, who is this person? I saw someone. I saw someone the other day and I was like, ugh. They're like, Lindsay. I'm like,
And
last
you
time I
are?
saw you was at ETBU like 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only reason I recognize you is because from Facebook. I wouldn't know this person.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
now.
For
That's
sure.
so weird.
Totally. So you were at, okay, so backtrack. You were at
Sorry.
ETB. It's okay. So I see this picture of you and I'm like, okay, she's doing photographs, but you were teaching at the same time, right?
Yes.
So you were a teacher.
So I got my degree in education, music education. It's a music degree, but like it's with education from ETBU. And I remember my sophomore year, I was like, I think I want to do something different. I think I just want to major in music and try music business. And so I tried to transfer to DBU, but ETB was giving me too much money. Ended up being like, I don't know why I would have ever done that, because all my best friend, everything wonderful in my life I met from ETB. Like all my best friend, I think I was just having like an existential crisis and I didn't know what to do with my life. I was like, do I want to teach? I don't know. Like, I don't know. So I end up student teaching, and I loved junior high. Did not love elementary. I thought I wanted to do elementary. And so when I was student teaching with elementary, I was like, this isn't really what I want to do. But I loved my junior high director. That teacher was awesome. Rachel Lockard at Hallsville. She was so fun, and I just learned a lot from her. So I was like, okay, the older kids, that's what I want to do. And so one of my friends was teaching at Gilmer that went to my church, and he was like, we have an opening. And I got really lucky because getting jobs back then was hard, like it is now. You know, it's just...
Yeah, because what year was that?
This was 2010.
See, that's when I graduated at UT.
Oh my God.
What in the world?
Yeah,
the same age? I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
That's wild.
Are you 87?
88.
You're the old lady in here, Mandee.
I'll be 40 in a couple weeks.
Crazy.
Well, actually, right at a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That is
I've got a
exciting.
few years to go. It's okay.
Oh man, yeah, we do. But so I started teaching junior high with the person that I was teaching with, and I loved him. I learned so much from him, but then he had to leave after the first year I was there. And thank God I had him. Like the first year I was there, I learned so much, and it was like almost diving into the deep end, because there's only so much you learn student teaching.
Right, yeah.
And so it was just going straight into it, and I loved my kids. Like I love their little brains. I feel like junior high was my favorite because I'm just ridiculous and like goofy.
You're
whimsical.
you're a special type of human being to love middle school. I did 1 year in middle school, and I said never again.
Oh, but it was also the environment who I worked around. I had an awesome principal, awesome staff.
That makes the whole difference right there.
In the junior high, but I was also at high school and elementary. So I started at high school. It was first period, had a break, went to intermediate for 2 periods, went to junior high for 2 periods, went back to high school.
Oh, that's great.
No, I hated it. I know you didn't like the redundancy, but it was just too much. I didn't have a safe office.
Oh, yeah.
The high school was my office, but I just felt like I need a place
I need
to
a
go.
home.
I need a home, but
Yeah.
it was hard keeping everything scattered. But I did love my students, and I had a really great, awesome staff placement at the junior high for sure. That was like my home base. I did love them, but it was hard, and I just went on a rabbit trail about that. But
That's okay.
But right after I graduated, my parents got divorced, and I was really upset. It was just like trauma, and I needed an outlet.
Yeah.
And I remember I had just gone to Austria that summer, and I told my dad, I was like, man, I wish I had a better camera, because I was always taking pictures of of my friends, just with a crappy point and shoot. Just always taking, always. I was like choir historian, and so, and I told my dad, I was like, I really want a better camera. And I remember he bought me one, and after they divorced, that was literally what I put all my attention into, because it brought me so much happiness. And my friends would model. I remember my cousin was my first model. We took pictures around downtown Longview, like the railroad tracks. Whew, big no now. But oh yeah, it's illegal.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get arrested.
Fun. Let's go do it.
No. Never.
I'm kidding. And the police department's right there. So that's a bad idea. Don't go do that. That was a joke. Don't go do it.
But so I just was taking pictures. It opened up this vessel in my body that I didn't know that I had, like with passion.
Yeah.
I always thought music was my passion, which it is in a different way. Teaching music wasn't my number one thing. I loved my kids. I love that. And I think that I loved having them. It wasn't the thing that I was meant to do.
Yep.
It didn't light you up.
It didn't light me up.
Yep.
And so when photography kind of just came in, I had never gravitated more than anything in my life, especially with getting to like be with my really good friends and like having them like model for me and playing with it and then creating things out of it. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, this unlocked a whole another Lindsay level. And I thought about this memory earlier when I was driving. But when I was in kindergarten, it's the first week of school, so like everybody's posting their kindergarten pictures. In Miss Rain's classroom,
I had Miss Rains too.
oh my gosh, it's meant to be.
Peggy.
I need to show you. I posted a picture on Instagram of me and her this morning. I had I remember us drawing in a journal what we wanted to be when we were older. I remember being an artist, and I wanted to be. I had always thought I'd be an artist, and then I got into middle school and learned I could sing. Mm-hmm. But it's just funny, like I am an artist. Like no matter what with the music,
You really are.
it's
she can sing too?
Girl, yes, and she's got great taste in music. Like if you just spend time around Lindsay and enjoy her playlist, it's so much fun. And she goes to the best concerts.
Oh yes,
like
I'm a concert fiend.
We should do a podcast sometime about like concert experiences and enjoy and like have Lindsay come in and talk about all the
amazing.
crazy, fun, exciting things that she's done and the people she's met.
Oh,
yeah, I
So
love
side
it.
note for that sometime. We'll nerd out on music and concerts.
okay,
Yes.
cool.
And what were we even talking about? I got excited about
You
concerts.
Mrs. Rains' class and drawing yourself as an artist.
It's like drawing.
Yeah.
Just drawing little mermaids. I was like, I want to be an artist when I grow up. And then in middle school, I remember I was in choir and I made all region. And I'm like, oh, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. But then still in high school, I was in art 1 and 2 with Miss Welling.
I love her.
God bless America. She was an angel and she was just such a good teacher. But my brain was so focused on music, I feel like I didn't have the portal to let that in. And I never had Miss Bardwell because I was never in journalism, and that breaks my heart. I think about it every day. It's like a regret that I had because I know what an amazing teacher she was.
I felt that way about Miss Welling because I never had Miss Welling. Their classrooms were across the hall from each other. Side note.
Yeah.
So you kind of got a little bit of a vibe from both of them if you were in
Yeah.
either class
Yeah.
because they were right there. But yeah, I was involved in yearbook and band, so I didn't have an art credit to spare.
Yeah.
And I was super academic focused. I was in all the advanced whatevers except for calculus. I skipped that one and did psychology instead. Best decision ever. Didn't need that. But yeah, I wanted to come back my freshman year in college and just take art from Miss Welling. Like I asked her, I was like, can I just come sit in your class? Because she was she's a special human.
Very special. Remember the signs she used to make for the games? God.
And she used to get the butcher paper and make spirit signs for the football games, and they were just always so good.
They were
So
so good.
Yeah.
But it's like you're so focused on one thing, you're like, okay, this is what I have to put my attention into. But then hindsight's 2020, you're like, wow, I really did gravitate towards this one thing, but it's like I was so focused on this other thinking, okay, this is what I gotta hone in on and make that work. But the older I get, I'm like, wow, I did not flower or not water my garden for my like artistic side, which is a weird thing to like think about, but then my life would be a complete different position if I would have done that. I think that teaching allowed me to be learn patience, learn how to do things different things at the same time, manage time better, which I'm horrible at, but I was going to school, going straight to a shoot after, editing, going to bed at 2 a.m.
Yep.
Like I was sick all the time because I was like,
Yeah.
And then I finally in 2015, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I've been thinking about it for like a year and a half. I'm ready. I'm ready now. I'm ready to do this full time. The scariest thing I've ever done. My mom's going to listen to this podcast and she's going to know that I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about. But she was not supportive, and that broke my heart because she wanted me to have that
Steady, stable.
Yes, stability. She's been at the same job for 45 years. She's an amazing woman and she is great at her job. But I was not happy.
Yeah.
I was depressed. I did not really like anybody show how depressed I was, but it just photography made me so happy, especially creating like the styled shoots. When I started doing that, it opened up inside of me this I keep using like garden metaphors, but I feel like it just like was springtime. It was just like whoosh, and this is what I'm supposed to do.
That's such a beautiful metaphor,
beautiful,
though. Like
yeah.
I know you're downplaying it, and I'm like, no,
just-
like
I've never-
springtime inside of me. That sounds so joyful and
It
wondrous.
does, and
Like,
and I can so relate, and I always like think to myself, you know, if any of like my past students or their parents were to hear like this episode, like don't take this the wrong way, because I loved my kids and I was good at what I did. I really was. But if I were to compare being in the classroom to being a photographer, being in the classroom was like winter inside my soul. photography is like springtime. It's just
Oh my gosh, can I have that printed in my studio?
Yes.
Like and what you just said about my students, I don't want them to ever feel like, because my babies, they know that I love them. I did one's wedding last year. I did one's wedding in May. I did engagements for one last year. And like the fact that they like had asked me, they're like,
That's
Miss
so
Steele.
precious.
I'm like, please.
Yeah.
Like I love them, especially the kids in high school. I had one of mine, Megan. She's my favorite. I had her from 7th grade to her 11th grade year, whatever the 5-year pattern was, whatever it was, I can't count. But I remember it meaning so much to me when she asked me to do her wedding.
Oh, it's amazing. And every teacher is the same way. Once you roll through our classroom, you're always ours. You're always going to be my kid.
Yes.
And I am also just super thankful that I was able to leave when I left. And I had started photography and I was like doing shoots on the weekends, and then I had my first son and was able to stay home, and like, that's when I was just like, okay, like, let's do this thing. We've been playing with it. Now let's do it.
Yeah. I know. What year did you end up doing just photography and no teaching?
See, Jack was born July of 2015. So 2015, 2016, I still think in school year.
I know. I did too. Semesters?
Yeah. So
Same.
the 15, 16 year, I was out and I was doing photography and just being a
the
mom.
same
Timeline. This is so weird.
Yeah.
It is. Like, I didn't realize y'all had so many similarities. I mean, I knew I loved you both so much, but like, this is just so funny. It's like y'all are on the same path.
What's so crazy, I'm like picturing you going into your art class, and at this probably like same day, same time, I'm going into my 3rd period art class saying, hey, I've got a project due in photography. Is it okay if she's like, yeah, Ashley, go ahead. And I would spend a double period in the dark room because I just wanted to be in the dark room. I was so
cool.
happy there.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Just some peace and quiet.
Oh, it's amazing.
Lindsay, did you ever get that experience? Did you ever have darkroom experience? Because I know
No, because I wasn't in journalism. I didn't have any experience with photography. Nothing.
Not until
until
your dad bought you that
got
camera
that
after
Rebel.
your trip.
I got that Rebel, and I took a class from someone in Longview that owned the camera shop, the Hallmark camera shop.
Yeah.
He had like a little class.
Was it Bob?
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
I learned how to shoot in manual from him, and so after that, I was like, oh, this is so much better.
Yeah.
But I was just constantly playing, and like teaching. I was able to like pay my bills, have a job, insurance, all those things. But I was doing photography like on the weekends, and the times where I could, like in the summer. So I was able to have a life and live, but also do photography. That sounds horrible. I'm like, wasn't using education as like a backup, but it was like I was able to find and grow into what I was supposed to be while I was teaching.
Yeah.
God, that sounds horrible.
No,
it
because
doesn't.
the thing is that you have impact during that season too. It's just that people, maybe sometimes we think like, oh, it's supposed to all be about the kids. Well, it's also, about like that teacher's also growing in their own life, and the kids are just as much a part of that growth to us as we are to theirs, because we all have those kids that we had that just like, we're not ever going to forget them. And they just stick and they impacted us maybe even more than we impacted them. Yeah. And it's just all part of it, No,
you're spot on. Those babies, they know who they are. I still talk with some of them, and I don't know. They made that time better.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah.
So you took this huge leap.
In 2015, I remember I gave I will probably cry. I gave my principal, I told her, I was like, okay, I'm ready. It was my junior high principal, Dawn, and I've always loved her. But I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this full time. She goes, I know.
My principal did the same thing, kind of. Like I brought in a little advertisement for $75 photo shoots. And I was like, here. And she was like, she took it and looked at it. She goes, you're a businesswoman. I can see it all over you. You're going to be doing this. And I was like, no, I'm not.
No, not a baby. I'm just a baby.
I always thought I was going to be a teacher my entire life. But inwardly, I'm like, I don't want to be a teacher my whole life.
I wonder if that's like a thing. Totally unreal. I mean, not photography related, but when I decided to leave the radio station, prior to a year before I decided to leave, my boss looked at me and he's since passed, but I had so much respect for him, just a like industry legend. And he was like, "You're going to leave, aren't you?" Like,
you know what? I think people can see sometimes things on us that we don't see yet. And I feel like that's part of our journey. It's being in that office in that moment, having that person say that one thing that if it was totally off, we'd be like, no. But because it sparks something in us that makes us go, like it's just all part of it. Like that's like a big catalyst for like that moment made me think like, oh, somebody thinks that I could actually do this.
yeah. It's a big deal, and that's part of it's part of the reason why I wanted for us to have this podcast is because there's going to be somebody listening at some point that when they hear that you had the courage to leave the classroom, both of you, and I had the courage to walk away from a 20-year career to go try something different, and now I'm doing this. Like somebody's going to go, maybe I could do it too.
Yeah.
And they're going to follow the path that they're supposed to be on. You know, like that's to me, like that's the point.
Yes.
Like. Because sometimes you do need that nudge of courage or like somebody to just have that little bit of belief in you. And so if you're listening to this right now and you're feeling that.
If your heart's like.
Man, your passion.
You know?
Passion. What did you say earlier?
I said money follows passion.
Which is true. I mean, like, but
It does.
if there is something you love more than anything, you will make it happen. Like, and you're just not going to let it go. And I feel like I just never knew what that was until we did our first styled shoot. After that first styled shoot, oh gosh. Okay, so I do styled shoots, and they're everything to me. It's like
They're freaking fabulous.
They really are.
The first one we did, it was Red Riding Hood, and we did it on my one of my voice professors, her backyard, and it ended up being like the most perfect setting. And it was actually raining that day, and it was gloomy, but it cast like this foggy setting. And the art teacher at Gilmer, she made the cape, and it was velvet. And I remember thinking, well, I love velvet now because it's the way it reflects light. It doesn't reflect light, you know, so it's just like matte. But I remember that night, my best friend was with me because we were staying at her house, and I was looking at these photos, and Red Riding Hood had blue eyeshadow, or blue lips. She had blue eyeshadow and blue lips, and Molly's a genius. Like I just remember just being like, who thought of this? Like what? But blue and red. I mean, you know. So I was looking at these photos on my computer, and I was like, what is this? Like this, I love this. I want to do more of this. And so we scheduled the next one. And the next one, and the next one. And it was just, I learned how to do posing. I learned my favorite lighting situations there, like without like artificial light, natural light. That's what we all start with. But I just remember I loved shopping for these. I loved finding the models. I loved the makeup and hair. That was like the best part. And then the relationships you build with these people, like Little Red Riding Hood, she modeled for me like 2 or 3 other times since then. And then, you know, I've worked with Molly for years, and I work with Emily. Like, I work with both of the girls, and then Tessa and Annie, everybody, all these hair people. These are, like, all my favorite humans. So, working together and learning how, like, oh, well, we need to make sure. And they all know about my lighting situation now. They're like, okay, well, Lindsay has to be done at this certain time. To, like, we have to be done with the makeup and hair to get out to the sun. So, like, they know how I work. I drive everyone crazy. But it's like it's a relationship. It's almost like a marriage, kind of. They're all married and have kids, and I'm like single, no kids. I'm like, sorry, y'all. But it's a marriage of creating these events together, and I don't know. I feel like we all respect like each other's visions, and I love seeing what the girls create with hair and makeup, and it's just part of the fun.
I have wanted to be a part of one of these styled shoots for years, and it's like I'm not the age group. Like I'm not.
There's
young
no age
enough.
group. Tell me what you want to do, and we'll do it.
Okay, I have some ideas. I'll tell you about them later.
Okay, yes. Okay, and here's my question that I've thought about before, because they're very elaborate. They're incredible, and they are. So my question, just in my business brain, is there any money to be made, or are you spending so much money, but then it's just the beneficial exposure of everybody?
Literally that.
Okay. Well, I love that. Oh my gosh.
Mandy was like, you need a sponsor. I'm like, so many things. Like, I feel like I'd have to talk with people about money, and that makes you want to.
My dad, when I was younger, and my grandmother, the thing that they loved to do together was go to Shreveport and go to the boats. And they had seed money and then once they spent their seed money on the slots, they either won or they didn't. And then that was it. They went and had their fun. So do you just pull some seed money from your sessions to do styled shoots? Basically,
I don't even think about it that way.
She's like, I don't have the budget. I just do it.
There's no budget, Ashley. I just play. But there are places where I know I'm going to want to get this outfit, like online. I'm like, oh, I see that. Or I'll see an outfit and it'll spark an idea. I'm not like going crazy. There's places that do, like with jewelry and stuff, they'll like let the jewelry come in and like we'll like let that be a part of the shoot. But like for their outfits, pretty much I buy everything. And then I have stuff at the studio that like we can use as like props, but I'm trying to think of one. Like we just did Alice in Wonderland a couple months ago, which I'm like, I haven't even been able to edit because I've been so busy. Just the summer was crazy. It was such a busy summer. But like all those outfits, that was a big chunk of money, but I was buying stuff like months before. Yeah. Kind of like filtering through. I was like making sure I can pay my bills. I'm like, well, I got to get this dress. I got to get that dress. And that was the biggest shoot we've done. And another one that we did like that was Wizard of Oz a few years ago. Yeah. And it's the outfits that cost the most. Yeah. Everyone else, they're happy to just be a part of it. So I don't really pay the models. They just get photos from it. So which is nice. Yeah. And locations, sometimes it's just in studio and sometimes it's at this other place. I don't pay for locations.
It's brilliant marketing for you because I think that's what you've become known for. And so people, I would imagine, reach out to you to hire you for their weddings, their engagements, all the other things from these.
This is my way of advertising. Did you just say that? Marketing.
Same thing.
So I feel like this is my way of advertising. Because it's literally showing what I want. I don't.
You have all the control.
All the control. Yeah. It's like my style. It's obviously with like the help of like makeup and hair, and like the models, but it's like I'm throwing out there what I like and what I like to do. And when a client comes back, they're like, oh, I want to do something like that. I'm like, that's the goal. That's what I like. I want the clients that want my creative portraiture is just like what I want to do. Jam. That is my jam.
And she has a book.
I know.
It released a year ago.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to talk about your book?
My little baby book. It's just so weird because now I've done so many shoots since then. So I'm going to pick up another book.
You're going to have to make volume 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11.
I do love it. I remember when I first held it in my hands, I just couldn't stop crying. Yes. Aww. It was such a surreal moment because it was a real book and it's beautiful and it's beautiful. Colorful. It's in rainbow order.
No.
Like it's the middle.
I should have brought it with me today. I'll bring it up here. So
I literally just took 3 out of my car. Man, I should have brought one up here.
That's all right.
But the very middle of the book, the girl that edited it is amazing. The middle of the book is my color series, all like in rainbow order laid out. She did such a good job organizing it and editing it and everything, like how it was going to like be laid together. Right. The girls did an awesome job publishing it too. It's like my baby. It's weird. It's my baby that I don't have, but it's like I didn't give birth to it. But it's as close to my baby as I can get.
You did though. That's the thing. You carried it for a while. You labored and then you delivered in 15, and then now you raising that thing, like
raising it.
Yeah,
I do like that analogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm an analogy person.
I love
so just come to me.
My favorite people are analogy people. Yep. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting because this is going to sound so dumb, but when I was teaching, there was a photographer that I was obsessed with, and I still am, Tara Swain. I love her. She did some headshots of me a few years ago, and they're still my favorite headshots ever. But she's colorful, and she's fun. And I remember seeing her photos when I was teaching. I was sitting on the couch in my office, and I'm like, how does she get it to look like that? How is it so colorful? Why is it so blurry? Like, what do these things mean when the things you're learning in the beginning, Oh, bokeh. Or boko, whatever. I can't even say it right. But I was thinking, I want my photos to look like that. Yeah. Like, I want my photos to be that beautiful. And, like, if I could just talk to, like, my 23-year-old self, the one that was starting, she'd be so proud. Like, she'd be so proud, like, to know, like, oh, you're killing it. Like, and I say that, like, I just mean, like, I love my work now. Like, I love it. And I just feel like baby Lindsay would.
Well, and you, not only do you have this amazing book and career, but you are award-winning, award all over the place, really. I mean, you are.
I know, this is weird.
Like locals love us, both of you. Or like,
I know,
like
yes.
best
It's weird
in
to
Longview
talk
and
about
best
it.
in
It is.
Tyler.
I know. I can talk to you about it, but don't turn it on me.
I see those awards up in there, girl. I know. It's so cool when your community
Yes.
accepts you and they love your
Yes.
work and they like promote you and they want
Yeah.
you to do well. It's
That just like, I honestly like
icing
this
on the cake.
I mean, this last year, you know, when I started and I had my little baby crawling around on the floor, I got a mailer from Locals Love Us, and I was peeled through to the photography. And I was like, one day I just want to be on that list.
Yeah.
Last year I finally made the list at like number 5. No, yeah, number 5. And then this year I was having a horrible day and something just said, go check Locals Love Us. And I was like, oh, okay. And I went and I was number 1. And I was like, I think I just need to quit now.
Oh no.
And I think it's because I think
feeling
like
that is.
I kind of, there's a piece of me that wants to start maybe just, I want to grow. I don't want to stay the same. I want to get better. And so
Yeah.
there's a piece of me that's like, okay, what are some like reputable competitions that you can enter into just to see, just to
Yeah.
learn and grow. But the thing about Locals Love Us that means so much is that it's literally the people in your community
know.
taking the time to go on to this thing and say, this is who we love. And it just means so much. It just means a lot.
No,
So,
I am 100% back that up. And you get business from it. People will see, oh, she's number 1. That's who I'm going to contact.
yeah.
But then they fall in love with you and they keep coming back.
I know. I love it. I love it. Right now it's like booking time. People are getting their like fall sessions booked.
Yep.
And and it's not that I don't talk to my clients all the time, but there's only so many people you can talk to. But I love when I get that initial text, hey, let's get on the calendar. I'm like, how are you doing, girl?
I
Like it's just,
know.
they're like family. I
They
feel like
are. They are.
They are.
They really
family.
are.
And then the ones, and what's even more fun is when you get really close to like clients. Like, oh, they turned from a client to a friend. Or like I have one girl that I met a few years ago. Her name's Lauren. And the first time we took her pictures, it was the first time I met her. It was the most beautiful golden hour. And I remember, I knew that she was still like funny, but like she rolled over backwards. And I was like, and she just started laughing. I'm like, she's going to be my
You
friend.
my people. You're
And-
my people.
Yeah, she's one of my really good friends now, but I just remember being like, oh yeah, I love her. we're made from the same cloth, but it's cool meeting. Yeah, it's cool just meeting all these different people. And there's people you get along with more than others, but
Sure.
it's a good way to meet people because I'm
Oh,
a very
yeah.
introverted person.
Yes.
And I have met so many people through photography.
Yep, same. And I think too, like that's the other part of it. I'm like, these are people I would have never
Yes.
crossed paths with if I was in a classroom, you know? And I'm thankful for that because it really has like allowed me. I do love people. I am introverted and I love everybody, but then I gotta go home and be by myself. That's why I'm really glad
Recharge.
these kids are going to school tomorrow. But I don't know. I just love. I think too with photography, especially with the families and like newborns, I love it when a new mama, whether it's first baby, second, third, fifth baby, comes in with that newborn and she's sitting down and I'm, you know, I can take baby for a little bit, you know, love on them, wrap them up, get them cozy, but I'm sitting there going, how you doing, mama? And those conversations, like that just means so much to me, you know? So anyway, really, this is going to be like a 4-hour episode.
It might be too.
Sorry.
No, it's just because we just could.
We've been looking forward to this.
Yes.
No, I'm loving this.
Months.
Yeah, I
You
am
were one
too.
of the first when we started talking about like who would we bring in as guests. Your name was like one of the first on the list. I don't remember who the first person was. There were probably like 5 people that she and I were like, oh, this person, and you were on that list because. Well, I adore you and have for years
love
and years,
you.
like 20 years now going on.
Oh, God.
But I know.
Can't tell her age.
Hey, I heard you said it earlier. It is what it is.
Oh, man.
But, you know, I've just gotten to know Ashley over the last few years, but that's how we met. It was through photography because she did the headshots for the radio station. And, you know, She didn't judge me for changing in the back of my car. Like,
I was going to judge you for that.
Listen,
I mean,
They don't care.
I mean, we changed on the back of the band bus and did all kinds of crazy things back there that you're not supposed to do on a bus, but we did them. And
Good times.
So when Ashley was like, "Where are you going to change?" I was like, "The back of the car." I wasn't banned. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Literally
Like,
all my seniors. I'm like, do y'all anywhere change? Yeah, she's cheerleader. Yeah, she's drill team. Yeah, she's band. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well,
so you
alrighty.
just get naked wherever you are. Like,
Pretty much.
Just hide her. Get like a sheet and hide her.
Yeah.
But no, that's funny.
all right. So we have a few questions that we like to ask at the end. And I'm going to let Ashley start because
Okay.
these are some of our favorite things to talk about at the end as we wrap up.
All right. So, first question, it's an easy one. What is your coffee order?
Okay, I just started liking coffee a month ago. Listen.
You've made it this long.
Dutch Bros, Golden Eagle. I'm obsessed with it. It's a problem. It's a problem.
It's a problem.
Iced.
I had one for the first time during
What's a golden eagle?
It's a breve latte. It has
Okay.
caramel in it.
Oh, snap.
I really don't know.
It's just good.
It's delicious, and I'm addicted to it. Like, I'm thinking about going there after here. I'm like, should I go to the one in Tyler? Should I go to Longview?
She's
I
sitting
gotta
here.
think
She's
about-
like, I've not been present at all. I've just been thinking about Dutch
But like, I
Bros.
don't drink coffee. Like, it's not like something I like. And even when we went to Colorado, is whenever I became obsessed with it. That was like a month ago. And my best friend Chelsea, she was like, okay, well, let's try this other place and see if you like. No,
No, you're just Dutch Bros.
Dutch Bros.
Okay.
Just that one coffee.
Okay.
There's been other
Golden
stuff that I
Eagle.
like too, but
The
like,
names of their drinks crack me up. Golden Eagle, and there's all kinds of stuff.
I've never been there, but somebody brought me a Golden Eagle last week to try.
Oh, well, there you go. I guess I might
so
need to try
good.
one.
iced, not blended,
Iced?
not frozen.
Okay.
I like it iced. I
All
don't
right.
like the texture of
Now
frozen.
I know what to order for
Yeah.
you. Should I ever need to order coffee?
I almost asked if y'all want a coffee, but I was like, no, it's like 20 minutes away, or like 20 minutes of traffic, and I'm like, I think it'd be melted by now. But oh
All
my
right,
gosh, it's
so
my favorite.
what about favorite cocktail?
I don't really drink a lot. If I got a cocktail, I just ask the bartender for something fruity.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm really boring. I'm really boring. Like, if I'm with friends, I'll tell them to get me something. Yeah, I don't. Oh wait, no, I do love pina coladas.
Okay, there you
I do
go.
like pina coladas.
It's the summertime in your soul sometimes.
Always. Well, me and my friend Tyler, who Mandy knows, we went to
love Tyler.
We went to Jamaica for a wedding a few years ago, and I was like, I want a pina colada, and it was just like, it was too bad. Like, after that, I was like, oh no, this is my drink.
This is
yeah,
an issue.
they were so good on the beach.
Man,
They're deceiving too.
You took some really nice portraits of Tyler in Jamaica.
Oh, I know.
I had forgotten
He's
about
so
those until he
handsome.
is a gorgeous man. I had forgotten about those though until you just
They
said
were
that.
so pretty.
Okay, so this I'm excited to ask you this question because you've been to some pretty cool places, and I know that.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You know.
if we were to give you a ticket
Okay.
to go anywhere you wanted, and we were going to put you in this wonderful, swanky place to stay, where would you go? Like, what's the top of your travel list?
Okay, somewhere I've never been.
It's up to you. You can go back, or it can be somewhere you've never been. Either way.
Okay, hold on. I'm thinking. I feel like this is boring, but I feel like I want to go to Scotland. It's like my number, not boring, but it's not like a place. I just know how beautiful. I've been to Ireland. I've been all in Iceland. I've been to places I want to go, but it's like I want to go.
Scotland.
I want to go to Scotland.
Okay, so now I know what the shoot is that I want to do. Let's just go to
What do you
Scotland.
want to do?
Do it.
Let's go do a styled shoot in Scotland.
Duh. I mean, like, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
Get a big flowy dress and just like
Oh.
you can just imagine the wind there is beautiful. There's
I
a
think
place.
You might need an assistant.
No, no. There's a place out there called Olive Sky. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of it.
It's kind of like interesting. They have like stones and then like this, but it looks bigger than it. I don't want to
Let's do
explain
that, and I want to be Hermione at Hogwarts
it. Okay,
because that's where the castle is.
let's do. It's in Scotland.
The exterior
What
is in Scotland.
I didn't know it was real. I thought it was all CGI.
Yeah, no, the castle. Well, okay, so there are parts of the castle that are CGI, but the external walls, like where they shoot the first film,
Yeah.
that's in Scotland. It's also in Downton Abbey too, in the TV series, in the final series,
What?
when Edith ascends and she becomes a Marquess. Same castle.
I didn't know that.
Girl, deep Harry Potter info.
I know you do love Harry Potter. Okay,
Mandy
yeah.
has literally been waiting her
I want to
entire
go.
life for
I want to
this.
go. One of my
Okay,
cli-
we'll
Do
figure it
it.
out. We're gonna do it.
one of my clients, she is gonna finish law school, and she is like, okay, we're gonna either get married in Jordan or Scotland.
Ooh.
Both are gorgeous.
I'm like, what?
Okay, get married in one and honeymoon in the other.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Jordan's
well, she went to school in Jordan. Have you been there?
No, but my friend Nicole just got back.
Which Nicole?
Oh, you
Is it
don't
one I know?
No,
Okay, never mind. Okay.
But you would love her because she also loves to travel.
Uh-huh.
And the
do love
pictures are just exceptional. It's like you look at it and you think that's not real. Like you just or that it's Egypt because
Like
it's kind of in that same Petra. She was there. Aqaba. All these amazing, just extraordinary places.
Oh my gosh,
and the photographs are just.
I love the desert. Like I love mountains, but I love the way the desert
and
looks.
I want to shoot in a desert so stinking bad.
Have you been in the Monahans?
No, but
I've been in the Monahans.
a like,
But she knows
Madeline, and her shoot. Like, is that where that was? Okay, because I'm like, she showed me the photos. So Madeline and I met swinging our kids at the park, and that's how we
when
connected.
she lived in Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we got to talking about. Of course, she was just at the time just building the venue and all of this stuff. And we got to talking about photography, and she's like, oh, my good friend Lindsay Steele, and showed me her photos. I was like, I want to go to there.
It is, I mean, it's 8 hours. It's not bad. Could just go stay in Marfa. That's what I did last time I went. Me and my friend Sarah went out
Girls
there.
trip.
Yes, I love Marfa. I will go there anytime. It's the coolest place ever. We would like literally have like, we would have so much fun. Even just like the Monahans. I mean, it's hot, but like you either shoot there at sunrise or sunset.
Oh, yeah.
I just love the desert. It's just so calming. I love it.
Can we go to there?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's schedule something for
I love it.
2024.
Okay, so.
No one can do anything the next 3 months. Let's do something next year.
I love you so much. Thank you for coming. I want you to come back and talk about concerts with us sometime because that would be
love
such a
that.
fun
Yeah.
episode. So let's pencil that in and all these amazing trips. And would you also share with me where to find you online? Because some people might want to go get your book or check out your work because, it's really better seen than heard.
Yeah.
It's real pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. Lindsay Steele Photography. Lindsay with an A. LindsySteele photography.com. And it's the same on Facebook and Instagram. And you can, here's my phone. Just kidding. But I'm really easy to get a hold of. Just look for the really bright colors and all the rainbows. If you're in downtown Longview, you see a rainbow walkway, that is my studio.
Oh, I want to come see the studio.
Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with rainbows. I have a big rainbow on my wall and a big grayscale rainbow on the other side with black and white photos. You appreciate it. You'd
Okay,
like it.
I'm gonna need to. When the kids go back to school, I'm gonna take a day trip. Come see.
Come to
Ooh,
downtown.
I want to come.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, fun.
All right.
Thank you.
I love you. And Ashley, I'm going to love you too.
I know.
Not that I already don't, but you know what I mean? Don't want to be creepy. But this is fun.
I'm gonna love you so hard.
This is fun.
The Celebrating Women podcast wants to hear from you. Find us on social media at facebook.com/Celebrating Women Podcast or on Instagram, search Celebrating Women Podcast. You can also email us a voice message to celebratingwomenpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear your story or the story of an incredible woman you know. Send it to celebratingwomenpodcast@gmail.com. The Celebrating Women podcast has been presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in Cumberland Shopping Center or online at handandstonetyler.com. The Celebrating Women podcast is created and hosted by Mandee Unkefer and Ashley Fisher. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to the Celebrating Women podcast.